Okay, we are live. I am trying something new today and uh, putting this on 3 platforms. We'll see how that works out. And since this is a test, I'll do something that I want to do that you might not be interested in, but maybe you will be. I'm working on a poem and I want to finish this. I read this to another truck driver and he liked it so much that he wanted me to send it, and I didn't send it to him yet because it's not finished. So it started off as a completely different poem, and I'm like, that's too. The style of writing was not serious, but the content was serious. It really didn't work, and I have that poem in one of my videos on YouTube, so you could check that out. I forgot what I call it, but it starts off, alas, and to my own chagrin, I gave in within to sin. And now without a shadow of a doubt, the original was different. The secret's out, it's out, it's out. And it goes on and on. But this one, I don't know. I think I'm going to delete the whole first one. And by the way, the reason I'm doing this is kind of to show you the methodology behind writing. And I'm going to organize that. I have a document called Principles of Poetry, and I'm trying to teach how I go about this, but I lament about my bout. So that's a little cheesy, so I really originally liked this whole verse, and let me grab the original because I have all that on the cut side. I'm going to do that right now. Just to show you where this came from. And then we'll go back to what it is. Here we go. And I always have a cut section at the bottom. And of course, it messes up the format, but I'll have to fix that as we go. But, and now without a shadow of a doubt, my secret's out, it's out, it's out. That's part of the original. So I relent and I repent before my life is in folly spent. These aren't the deeds and words I meant, done or sent, but there they went. I mean, it's just great poetry. It's kind of it's a Lamentations, that's what Lamentations was, is poetic outlet for lamenting stuff. And now I know that what I sow will grow and grow each row by row. And when the harvest time has come, so it goes on and on. And you can see that, and all that fun is long past done. I'll be the one scorched by the sun with wild oats and ton by ton. Now, you tell me if that's a reach, Some of this is reaching, it's just, some of it's really good, but it's not me. I'm not one that laments my shortcomings and stuff. I don't know where it came from, but just one day I thought, so here's what I'm going to do with this. I don't even have a title to this. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to, let me see, I'm going to talk to you for a second. Let me see if I can do this. There I am. I'm here all the way. All right. I was like, it seems like it could be an unserious poem, but it has to be rewritten. So I looked at the whole thing and thought, what can I take from each one of these things for this poem to write something funny, So went in different directions, and ultimately I just went with a whole new poem, and I am literally deciding to delete the last remnants of that last poem, and I'll show you what that is. All right, I'm learning the StreamYard, and I'm adding this back onto the screen, and then I'm going to click on that, add. There we go. Cool. I've seen other people do this and I didn't know what they were doing, but you should be seeing that. Okay, so I'm going to just cut that. This is going up. I usually do this in Notes, on Apple Notes, but this would not let me share my whole screen. So I have to share another web screen. Okay, so here's how it starts off. And this has to do with ice cream and just giving in to Dairy Queen. So that's what we're doing. Indulgent lusts of taste divine. Now, should that be indulgent lust? Or should it be plural? Indulgent lust of taste divine, I fell before I passed the sign, drove in with patience through the line to make fine ice cream mine. It's not a bad intro. I liked the other one, but it was a little more serious. Not a bad intro. You really want a good intro and a good finale. I'm just going to take all this other stuff that I showed you, and we're going to just delete that. And now, day by day, for my wayward way, I think of Elmer Fudd. I must stay away and poor penance pay. I must take my rest and be at my best, not letting the pests of my sins I've confessed be burdens that bind me in future arrests and steal my passing those upcoming tests. That's pretty good. That's not good. This one, that one's not too good. But maybe, but as I look on, yeah, there's a whole lot on that. But we're deleting that because it's part of a different poem now. And all right, here we go. Crunchy peanut, crumble bits, hardshell chocolate, extra dips, ice cream lathered on my lips as evidence of my offense. Pretty good. Extra dips is kind of like, could be confusing. I don't know. You tell me. Is that confusing? Hard shell chocolate, extra dips. What I mean by that is dipping it in the hard shell again, getting it extra thick. Does that make sense to you? Let me see if any comments show up. Live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Click on a comment to show it on the screen. Show. Oh, okay. It shows it on the screen. I just learned something new, and I can thank Bill for this. Guy that I interviewed kind of introduced me to StreamYard. Okay, back to the poem. And as I slowly drive away, suspect at large, a crime and play. Okay, suspect at large. Should that be like, I mean, grammar doesn't matter all that much, but I'm kind of a grammar Nazi. I'm merely only made of clay, I may convey today. Now this line here, that's a placeholder. I'm not sure that's going to make it. I'm merely only made of clay. That's a good line. I may convey today. I may say today. There's the reason I didn't put I might say to myself today, too many syllables. That's still a work in progress. So we're going to underline that. But then my guilt begins to grow as on the run, uncaught I go. A fugitive, I know, of sinful seeds I sow. See, now a lot of people struggle with eating, and I struggle with eating too, only I'm on the other side of it. I struggle with having to eat things, but I do like ice cream. I will eat that. I will eat buttery popcorn. It just doesn't really stick to me, unfortunately. The ice cream where it must belong, next to my heart now filled with song. It feels like it cannot be wrong. Why then should I be strong? Oh, why should I then be strong? How should that be said? Why then should I be strong? That's more Shakespearean. Why should I then be strong? Why then should I be strong? I think why then should I be strong flows better. Whoops, I did that twice. Why then should I be strong? Yeah. See, and sometimes when you read it out loud, you'll know what comes out better, and that came out. Okay, this is that's a remnants of the other. Delete that. So there's problems with this. This is not done yet. Which is it, guilt or blissful glee? Not a bad line. That should be felt inside of me. Also good. Should I change or just be me? Problem. You can't rhyme with the same word. I'm not going to do it. So that's got to change. What me should I seek to be? Yeah, so now you're seeing the sausage be made in real time, which I've wanted to do this for a while. I'm looking back on the StreamYard, see if it's still recording. Still recording. What should the title be? If you're watching this either live or afterwards, what should the title? Like, it has to do with ice cream. It's a person struggling with having ice cream. They see it as something they're not supposed to have. And they're driving by Dairy Queen. I don't have Dairy Queen in there. So this is a generic thing. But Dairy Cream is really good. Yeah. Well, for me, I have throat problems if I have too much dairy. But yeah, so indulgent loves of taste divine. I fell before I passed the sign, drove in with patience through the line to make fine ice cream mine. That's kind of a fragment. Well, it is a fragment, but is it justified? Indulgent taste or an indulgent lust of taste divine. I like this one. Crunchy peanut. And I go over it. I just go over it and I let it sit for a day or two or a couple of days or a week or whatever, come back to it. And things that were hinting, yeah, that's got to go. And as I slowly drive away, suspect at large, a crime in play, I'm merely only made of clay. Okay, so we're going to just delete this. Or we're going to put it down there. Because today works. I'm merely only made of clay. You got today to say, if I may. How are we going to end this? Usually I don't rhyme this many times. But that's just how this emerged. It kind of piggybacked off of the other poem. So that poem has got a certain format to it. And so this just is a derivative of that format, makes it a little bit more difficulty. But A is the most common, that's the easiest thing to rhyme. But I'm having I don't know what to, like the first rule, the first principle of poetry is know what you're going to say. I don't know what to say after this. I'm merely only made of clay. Here's another thing to do. What if we did this trick? That's going to be the last one. That's a good way to end it. And we're going to put something here. And as I slowly drive away, suspect at large, a crime in play. To myself, I kindly say, mercifully is too many syllables. I say to myself, that's how we would write it if we were writing a book. I said to myself, or I think to myself, how can we write that where it rhymes? And I looked up convey. I was like, does that fit? Yeah, it's to portray something. Portray, there's another word, portray. A suspect at large, a crime in play. To myself, I kindly say, I'm merely only made of clay. Okay, to myself, I kindly say, now what is another word we can put for instead of kindly? Because it's like, that's where the thesaurus comes up. The thesaurus is your friend in poetry. I'm going to go back and see. No, I don't know if they stream in. Show comments on stage. Oh, okay, there's the comments. That goes on this side. Well, there's room for that. Okay. Still learning. Banners. I can put a banner, media assets. Style. There's so much to learn on this thing. I accidentally paid for a whole year at once. Okay, here's the thesaurus. Actually, I'm going to go big on here just to change things up. I've got the dictionary, and I click on thesaurus. They'll add a advertisement. I haven't paid for that to go away yet. I can also use ChatGPT. That's a good source. Okay, so kind, mercy. I'm going to go with mercy and see if there's benevolence, clemency, grace. But see, I don't want too many syllables on this. I wonder if you can see my cursor. Okay, and then you got to read it again. And as I slowly drive away, suspect at large a crime in play. To myself, I kindly say. See, this is too abrupt. That's a problem. Suspect at large a crime at play. It's not flowing today. That's fine. But I was able to teach you some things. Moving this around. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that because I'm not going to use that at all. Let's see. Tolerance, grace, goodwill, sympathy, pity. Nope, not really. Let's see. Kind. Let's see if there's a... Sympathetic. Okay, so... And as I slowly drive away, suspect at large, a crime in play. I would have to put and to myself, I kindly say. And kind of softens that. And to myself, today I'll say. Yeah, that's a problem. We'll just keep it as a placeholder for now. Let's move on. Sometimes you have to have this stuff sit for a while, and you go back to it, it becomes clear. But then my guilt begins to grow as on the run uncaught I go, a fugitive. I know. Now, usually I didn't used to like the repetition there, but it works. And the reason why it works is because the syllables are right, and it's got repetition, and it's also a phrase we say. I know. So it's familiar. Of sinful seeds I sow, the ice cream where it must belong. So now there's kind of a jump that's going on from one to the other. The ice cream where it must belong, next to my heart now filled with song. It feels like it cannot be wrong. See, now I don't like this. It feels as though it can't be wrong. Something else. I want to say it a little bit differently. Feels as though it can't be wrong. Feels like it cannot be right. Say like as you're tripping over that word. It feels as though it can't be wrong. All right, let's try this again. The ice cream where it must belong, next to my heart, now filled with song. It feels as though, see, filled and feels, those are conflicting to me. It feels as though it can't be wrong. Why then should it be wrong? Why then should I be strong? Next to my heart, now filled with song. They're happy. Is the guilt really growing? Is this conflicting? That's another thing to look at. I hope you could see my cursor. I'm going to learn a lot from this. How about asking a question? Can this be How can this, okay, next to it now filled with strong. So how can this be so wrong? So how can this yeah, I can't get there with the syllables. So how can this be all that wrong? There we go. All that wrong. Why then should I be strong? Yeah, maybe. See, we're working through it. It's a fun thing to do, to work through this stuff, and that's just a mess. Which is it? Guilt or blissful glee? What is going on here? Which is it? Oh, okay. Which is it? Okay, the grammar needs to work. Guilt or blissful glee? Yeah, there we go. That should be felt inside of me. This is a problem. I'm going to move that. Just get rid of it. Put it down here just to see. So we have C. That'll work. This is another easy rhyming scheme. What me should I seek to be? It's a little rough. Which is it? Guilt or blissful glee that should be felt inside of me? Is there something I should see? What me should I seek to be? Okay, is there something I should see works. What is there? Lots of questions. All right. I'm going to let that sit. And actually, I'm going to transfer it back to my notes. But if not, it'll be saved online. So anyway, that's what I have for today. And that was a good test, 22 minutes. And this stuff can be done on the go. You can put this together. It takes years to get good at it. But I want to teach it because it's fun. Expressing yourself is fun. And you've been using words all of your life. And the only difference between you writing poetry and not writing poetry is you knowing how the words can be arranged. And you can arrange words in a way that have never been arranged before that we know of. I mean, I've done that. I'm like, wow, that might not have ever had those two words together before, but I haven't read all of Shakespeare, so who knows? All right. Well, thanks for sticking by, and I'm going to learn some stuff about this technology, and I'm going to end the stream. So thank you. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and we'll go from there.